A lot of these body count guys or guys who want women that are virgins really has to do with their own insecurity about their own sexuality and an ownership model of women. And men who are jealous of a woman's past sexual partners are really insecure about themselves and their own sexuality because they're trying to own you not just now, they're trying to own you in the past before they even met you. It's a very dangerous and limiting way of thinking that really robs any relationship with this type of person of any vitality because they're so insecure. I'm going to make this video about jealousy. Sexual jealousy is an emotion that originates in ideas about sex and ownership. Jealousy is nothing more than a fear of abandonment. A jealous husband doesn't doubt his wife, but himself. Now, jealousy that has to do with one's own fears is different from actually someone cheating on you, okay? So we're not talking about cheating. We're talking about unsubstantiated jealousy. Now, jealousy also has to do with ownership and possessiveness. I think the author of this book on religion and sex, Daryl Ray, I think that he has more of a view on open relationships. I myself am not a fan of open relationships. I do not have that need for constant variety myself, but nothing against people who do. But I do have a problem with people who are trying to control sexuality or trying to think that you will never be attracted to another person. We definitely find other people sexually attractive. We can be turned on by other people, but that doesn't mean we want to have sex with other people. I don't. I'm not really that way. But anyway, with property ownership comes possessiveness. So if women are property, they are guarded jealously. So what has happened in today's day and age, well, in tribal days, women were not property. So women had sex. A lot of penises were in a lot of vaginas. There was a lot of sex happening. And so that kind of goes to the idea of men saying like men are meant to spread their seed. Well, it wasn't actually your seed that impregnated the woman because there were a lot of penises and a lot of vaginas, and the sperm competition theory, which explains there are three factors to sperm competition, but it was since there were many penises and many vaginas, it was the best sperm that won. It wasn't just that one man depositing his seed. These guys have this fantasy that, oh yeah, I deposit the seed and I make a child. No, you don't. Because the guy who fucked the woman after you, or maybe it was the fifth guy after you, who had better sperm, was the one who impregnated her. And she was going around just crushing all these penises. She was just riding cocks. So women have as voracious a sexual appetite as men do. And that's why human competition, DNA competition, worked on the level of the sperm. Let me just kind of go over it really quick. There are three factors to sperm competition. One is the shape of the penis with the mushroom head. As it's thrusting for many minutes, average thrusting time is 2 to 4 minutes, it plunges out the sperm that was already in there from the previous male. Okay, remember there was sperm. Whenever the man fucked a woman, there was already sperm in there. So he had to get that out through the pumping. When he ejaculates, there's something in the ejaculate that would dissolve the sperm that was already in there, or the plug. And the other one is that it coagulates quickly. Sperm coagulates quickly, forming a plug to keep other sperm from getting into the uterus. Okay, so women are sexual Ferraris, as Dr. Glover would say. And because women are these sexual creatures that love fucking a lot of cocks and love being filled with a lot of cum in prehistoric times, men have been threatened by that and scared shitless. That's why they control women, because women love sex. Now, I will say women do not like hookup sex. I myself do not like hookup sex. I think it's very dissatisfying to have sex with one guy that I never hear from again. So I don't participate in that. But that doesn't mean women don't love sex. Let's make that distinction. So because women love sex, when men started seeing women as property, they had to try to control them and feed them all these ideas about, how women should only like one man and women should only like one penis, and that virginity was prized, and other kind of lies like that to try to control women. And then in some societies, they even would stone women or kill women who were adulterers or stone them, because they were always trying to control women's sexuality. Because in their view, they know that women are very sexual creatures. And so they're always trying to control it. And one way to control it is through the sexual jealousy of what the manosphere is obsessed with, the body count. Those men are very insecure because they're jealous of a woman's past, and they make up all kind of myths about how she can't pair bond or she's lowered her value. These are just all different takes on being terrified of a woman's sexual power. A woman is a sexual Ferrari, as Dr. Glover explained in this video, which I will link up above, is that if you take these men, take any of these men and put them in a room with 100 women and go, how many women can you fuck? 10 women. Can you fuck 10 women and come in all of them? They can't. Even if they're 20, they can't. It might take them days to get through their refractory period. But a woman can fuck 10 men easily. And many women can orgasm very easily with all these men. I couldn't. I'm just kind of like a one and done type of a girl, but I can definitely fuck 10 guys and enjoy them all. So women are sexual Ferraris, and it scares the shit out of these weak ass men. And that's where their control comes in. That's where the jealousy comes in. That's where the guilting and the shaming comes in. And religion is a big culprit on that. Religion, that's where they get it. Comes in from religion, and it comes in from the ownership. Okay, now with feminine economic autonomy, the idea of owning or controlling women is diminished. Men are less able to guard their mates, so other ways of relating to women are necessary. Okay? And because females are autonomous and they no longer rely on a man for resources, she controls her own resources. The notion of owning or controlling a man's resources diminishes, so other ways of relating to men are necessary as well. Therefore, if a woman is financially independent and does not want children with this man, then marry a high-status male model may be counterproductive in finding a compatible mate. Many women earn as much or more than the men they might marry. If the only model is to marry high-status men, then the pool of candidates is vanishingly small for higher-income women. And this makes a lot of sense because we hear this all the time. Since women are hypergamous, there are not enough men to go around for us. Well, this whole hypergamy thing relating to resources is something that the culture teaches us. That what he talks about in this book here is that what we want and what is considered desirable is determined largely by our culture. What we think, how we are perceived by other people, and we want to be perceived well, like we got a high value mate. So guys want like the hottest woman, and women want like the richest guy. But what if our cultural map were to change? Since our roles are changing, what if we had a different map on what we consider desirable in a mate? What if instead of relating to women as objects to control and men as resources to get, we started relating to each other in a different way of what we actually find valuable and how we relate to each other? That's something to consider. So our culture defines what is important and the criteria for becoming jealous. So if the culture says protecting and controlling your women is important, then most men and women will play their parts in that scheme. So in some cultures, like I said, they allow you to stone someone or kill someone for cheating on you. It is not genetic. Jealousy is not genetic, it's something learned. And what we value now in our society is to control our emotions, talk to the issues, and go to a marriage counselor, file for divorce. So, since women are economically independent today and less controllable, if a man wants a mate, jealous, controlling behavior isn't an effective way of getting her and keeping her. Unfortunately, jealousy is still actively taught and encouraged in our culture, often with the collusion or support of religion. And of course, the songs in our culture also are about that. I do not like listening to these stupid love songs like I'm nothing without you, or you're the heart, you're my heart, you're mine forever, my girl, my guy. I hate that. It's such a low value, low energy way of looking at people as property, like you're all lost if they're not there at your beck and call. It's like a complete losing of yourself and abandoning of yourself. Those whiny country songs, I think they're just disgusting. I don't like it. It's the focus of owning someone, that they're yours, that you're so they're codependent. They're utterly codependent. It's very repulsive. I never want to be that woman who's whining over some guy, my heart, you're mine, whatever. It's a lot simpler to claim ownership than to build a relationship. And what we need to teach kids is sound sex education, which doesn't just talk about sex. It discusses and provides opportunities to practice responses to emotionally charged situations. When someone believes, I can't live without you, you're mine forever no matter what, they often do things that drive their spouse away. These kinds of beliefs lead to possessiveness and dependency, not mature adult behavior. So the ideas and beliefs that we have cause jealousy. The jealous person is insecure and has an excessive fear of loss or abandonment. Okay? So, and it also is based on one's belief. So if you believe that all men cheat, okay, if a woman believes all men cheat, so I have to keep track of my husband, that means she will constantly track her husband's whereabouts, who he talks to, who he calls or emails, and she believes keeping close track of my man will keep him married to me and make me feel secure, so she will constantly focus on his whereabouts, and she's going to drive him away. That's what actually happens. So if you can identify your hidden beliefs, then you can see what self-defeating behaviors you do. And religion defines what people can and cannot do with regard to sex. So you can only have sex with one person per lifetime, and that sex must conform to the specific guidelines or you will burn. Women, protect your virginity. Men, jealously guard your wives and daughters to keep them from falling into Satan's sexual trap. Never masturbate and practice abstinence only. Sex is a limited resource. Now, maintaining and enjoying a relationship is not the same as jealously guarding it. Okay? Jealousy is the opposite of maintaining and growing in a relationship, because jealousy includes fear, anger, suspicion, and control. They have no place in a mature relationship. But that's not the same as cheating. Cheating is being dishonest with your partner. And in a mature relationship, there is no reason to cheat. You should be able to go to your partner and just say, I'm unhappy with this, I'm unhappy with that. And then some people do need a lot of variety in their relationships. I'm not that way. I was married 25 years, and I fantasize about other people only because I was so sexually dissatisfied in that relationship. Because I was with someone who just pretty much just wanted quickies all the time. I was very sexually dissatisfied, but I never wanted to have sex with other people, actually have sex with other people, except a few times with women, but that came out of my utter dissatisfaction in my sexual relationship. Romantically and sexually, my marriage was very dissatisfying, and so I did have sex with other women a few times with his knowledge, and he didn't care. But I'm not bisexual. I do not like sex with women anymore. It was something that was really important the whole time I was married because of my dissatisfaction with him and transferring what he wasn't doing to me, I wanted to do to other women, pretty much. But I don't have that need that the author of this book does for constant variety with other men. I don't know if I were in a relationship with someone where I was sexually satisfied, would I eventually want variety? I don't know. I've not experienced that before for myself. I just have other things I'm interested in, and I don't have that need to have sex with strangers. I mean, I could go out and look for cocks right now. I don't want to. I don't have that. Do I like fucking? Yes. Do I want to go out and ride some random dick? No. So I'm trying to also understand my own sexuality in light of this book, because he obviously is writing from the point of view of a man. That's what I'm going to say. He obviously is writing from the point of view of a man who wants to fuck a lot of vaginas. And he's highly sociosexual. I'm putting these words in, evaluating him as such. And I'm not, you know? So I have a hard time with understanding how a woman in today's age can be sociosexual without being very open and agreeable to sex with strangers. And I don't understand all these polyamory people either, because they so easily get into relationships. I've been single for 11 years. I've wanted a relationship. I haven't met one man to have a relationship with that I've found at my level to have a relationship with. So I don't get how some people so easily get into relationships. I think that they're just like not as picky somehow. They have like, they're more open, they're more agreeable, they're less judgmental or something. I don't know. That's just like a little bit of a side note on this book. Now let's talk about cheating. Cheating is ethically wrong, whether you're religious or not. It is a violation of a promise. From my experience as the author talking, people who cheat have two conflicting goals. First, they often want to stay married to their partner or they would leave. And second, they desperately want something that is not present in their marriage. Their genetic map is pushing them toward variety, and they have reached a sexual satiation point with their spouse. Religious monogamy has no way to understand satiation or the need for variety. Religion puts a leash on our sexuality and expects to keep us on the straight and narrow. Now, there are ways to play around with variety without actually having other sexual partners. You can come and tell your partner who you're attracted to, or while you're having sex with your partner, talk about people who could be with you or who you'd be with. Like, you can talk about it. That way you don't have to hide it. Or when you're with your partner, you can point out, hey, that person's really hot. And the men who are secure in their sexuality actually like to know when a woman thinks another person is hot. They like to see her being sexually excited. And he also doesn't deny that he's attracted sexually to other women. That's really important. And a woman should know that her man is sexually attracted to other women, because you are. You might as well own it. We know that humans like variety, are extremely sexual, and that ignoring an urge doesn't make it go away. Now he talks about 3 big ideas that can enhance the opportunity for happiness in a relationship. The first big idea is to challenge your hidden assumptions, and that kind of has to do with jealousy again. These are the following hidden assumptions. He or she should be attracted to me no matter what. Even if you gain 200 pounds, even if you're not bathed and you stink. Marriage is forever with or without sex. Well, sex was an important part in the beginning. Why shouldn't it be now? The children come first. Well, if you don't take care of your marriage, the children will suffer. Your marriage has to come first. We can be married only if we're sexually monogamous. There are millions of people throughout the world who have happy, thriving marriages while enjoying lovers outside their marriage. Again, that's not for me, but for some, it could work. To want sex with someone else means he or she doesn't love me. That's not true at all. The second big idea is to be honest with yourself so that you can be honest with your partner. You can be, and again, here he's advocating, this again, not for me, that you can be socially monogamous and sexually non-monogamous. So this could be, for swingers, or you have like a mistress on the side or a pool boy on the side. There's a book called The Myth of Monogamy by David Barrage and Judith Lipton. And they explore how common it is among many species to be socially mated to one spouse, but to have sex with others. It's called socially monogamous and sexually non-monogamous. And big idea number 3 is that you're normal. Okay, if you want to masturbate several times a day, that's normal. If you want to have sex with your partner several times a day, that's normal. If you want to be spanked or have oral sex or have a threesome or dress up in clothes of the opposite sex or get off by watching naked men pop balloons or have a husband and lover on the side, it's all normal. Or as, who is the sexologist whose videos I watch? He always says, why do you want to be normal? People are like, is it normal to do this or that? And he's like, why do you want to be normal? And that wraps up my book summary and review of Sex and God, How Religion Distorts Sexuality. And thank you for watching my video.